A few days back, I had a workshop with parents, and that workshop was based on conscious parenting. And in that workshop, we talked about the art and science of parenting. So, what is it that you require in your day to day behavioral patterns to be a conscious parent? And also, what is the actual science behind when we react and act or respond in a particular way? A very good afternoon to everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to talk about a very important topic, as you can see on my thumbnail as well. So, the topic is over-controlling and repression leads to disasters. And today's discussion will be focused majorly on how we deal with our children these days. So, a bond between a child and a parent is a very different kind of bond. Parents, if they are the most attached, they are attached with their children. And similar is the case with children. If they are the most dependent and if they love somebody the most, that is their parents, mother and father. But these days, there are so many issues coming up where there is no parity between parents and their children. Unfortunately, the situations which are leading to these disparities are something which we have created on our own. They may not exist and they did not exist earlier. But nowadays, these things are increasing exponentially. Let's focus on few factors today that why this is happening and what actually needs to be done to overcome all these issues. Now imagine that you are tightly tied with a rope and you see in front of you so many things that you want to do, you can do, and you can actually excel in that, but you're not able to do it because there are some rope like things which have tightened you from all the sides. How would you feel? Obviously, you would feel very much upset. Sometimes you will feel very angry. And that repression, that over control that has been imposed on you leads to a lot of negative outbursts. And this is what is happening usually. We see that children, they shout back on their parents whenever they are restricted to do something. This is a very common pattern. You go to a mall, you go to a shopping complex, there you see so many children behaving in such an adamant way. If they want something, they want it right now, right then. And if you refuse, how they behave, they become so cranky. I've seen children behaving in such an absurd way that it really becomes very embarrassing at times to deal with them in public places. Now, why does this thing happen? See, we need to understand that child grows at his or her own pace, of course, barring the biological developmental stages of a normal human being. There are many other factors which contribute to the growth of a child and to its development as well. So, what are those conditions? What are those factors? Your social environment, your family environment, how you interact with your children, how much time you're spending with your children, how often you ask them that what do they want. You know, this is a very big question. I was watching that movie, Barbie Fail. If I guess most of you must have watched. So there, this main character's friend is there, and the main character, which is played by Vikrant Massey, he asks his friend, भैया आप क्या करना चाहते हो? And the friend, I mean, he got his eyes filled with tears. And you know what he responds back? ही सेज, यार ये मेरे को तो कभी किसी ने पूछा ही नहीं मेरे घर पे कि मैं क्या करना चाहता हूँ. Yeah. So you get these kind of shocks in your life when these very important little things go missing in the family where it should happen in the first place. So that in the workshop also we were discussing about younger children as well as adolescents. Now with younger children the issues are that kids are developing their own community. They are still in the stage of development of some more affinity towards their friends, and they feel like availing that freedom more often whenever they come back from their school or whenever they come out of their regulated routine, right? And they want to spend time with their children. But what parents do, usually we all are busy, we have 9 to 5 job, we come back home, we want to rest. And if we don't get to rest, then our anger lashes out on children, right? Or we sometimes get simply frustrated that please don't disturb, do whatever you want to do this, do that, but don't come here. We want to sleep or we want to rest, whatever is the issue. Now, in that case, what would the child do? The child's energy is not being channelized anywhere. So your child is going out, playing with the friends. Now, how she or he is playing, how he or she is interacting, what kind of things they are playing with, and how they are talking to each other, how they are behaving with each other, we have no clue because we are busy taking our own me time. But I don't blame adults as well because they do need some rest. Now, how to overcome this common issue which is there in almost every family and every household? Can we negotiate with our children? This is a very healthy way, you know. You come back from office or you come back from your workplace and you have already negotiated with your child that when I'll come back from office, I'll need this much of time from this time to this time to rest. And then after that, we will be doing something together which is more interesting, more exciting, more energetic. Or maybe you simply tell your child that after I have rested for this much of time, I'll come out to ground and I'll see what you guys are playing, what you play with your friends, what you do with your friends. And do not control, do not try to just grab your child at that time when he or she really wants to grow and move out of this regulated zone and go and play with his or her friends. But in that case, I tell you, it'll be a win win situation for you. Why? Because you have got your time to rest, you have rejuvenated yourself, and now you're out with your child either to play or to observe. Isn't it a win win situation? Try this out. Now, another thing. Now, when your child is out and playing with children, usually what happens is parents' tendency is that it's okay, it's a colony park, children are safe inside the park, they are playing, they are interacting. But how? And I mean, there is a big question. The language that is being used, the things, the expressions, the uh, dialects which children are exposed to, and every child is not same. Some children are a bit more aggressive by nature, some children are very timid by nature, some children are like normal, they can, I mean, manage, right? But what about those children who are very sensitive by nature? What about those children who are not very much strong physically, and if they get to encounter some robust kids, how to manage that? So it is very important that we keep a watch on our children when they are especially in the age group of 7 to 11 or 12 years old, right? Because this is also the age where children learn the most. They are developing that abstract thinking in them. They are in the stage of development of abstract thinking, logical thinking. They have so many questions that needs to be answered, right? And sometimes you have to talk about so many things by telling them stories, okay? And another very important thing is that please do not expect your children to be in the same space and be in the same kind of growth pattern as you have been. because now the times are different, the things that they're exposed to are different, the technology has been advanced. I mean, it's advanced so much that children know much more than we know at this age. So we have to modulate ourselves accordingly. Maybe your child is teaching you something every day, and why not get excited about it, and why not take out that time and talk to him or her that what have you learned new, you teach me. Can we negotiate that way with our children? And this way of negotiating, this way of observing, and this way of taking care and keeping a watch on your child, where you are not losing out on the growth and development of your child, you are also not over controlling and repressing them to not to do certain things, and still you are able to spend good time with your child. So this is what we call spending quality time with your children. Now I may make another video which talk about how you can deal effectively with your adolescents. So this was about, you can see a reflection of the workshop that I conducted few days back, and we talked about children which fall in the age group of um, 8 years old to 12 years old. And these were some concerns which parents were having, that how to manage kids, how to regulate their routine, how to give them that free time but also keep a watch on them. So see, the most important thing is negotiating with your children, because when you negotiate you actually ask their I mean things also, and you share your things also, right? And child get that trust factor, he or she develops that trust factor in you, that yes, if my mom and dad is saying this, I will be able to do this, and we have fixed a time for that, and that's perfectly fine. So when you do this, you may not have to shout at your child, you may not have to force him for anything, you may not have to make him sit and study, and you see that your child is running away from studies. You can make a schedule, and make a healthy schedule, right? So when you make your child, ask your child to sit and study for some time, then the child should look forward to after that time what he or she is going to gain. I'm not telling you that buy expensive gifts and always give them some kind of bribe to study, but I'm telling you that that bribe should be in the form of the quality time that you are spending with your child, and that quality time also leads to a lot of practical insights in life and learning at your child's end. Try this simple technique of negotiating with your children and regulating your time as well as your child's time, and making sure that you are spending that quality time with your child. And let's see how it impacts your interaction with your child. And I'll see you again with another video where we will talk in detail about some aspects related to how you can deal with your tiny adults, that is, adolescents. Till then, stay happy, stay blessed, and take care. Bye bye.